Hello, everyone. I'm Charles from smarterwaytoapply.com, powered by Jess Recruiting. And I wanted to bring you a presentation here today and kind of show you like our thinking here at Smarter Way to Apply as it relates to the technician shortage. Um, a lot of us in the industry understand that there is a technician shortage in the industry, and there's a lot of smart people trying to figure out why and how to solve that so we can keep bays filled and things like that. So here's some of the things we're thinking about here at Smarter Way to Apply as it relates to a shortage. And so we think it's fundamentally a perception problem, right? So the presentation starts here with silicon versus grease, solving the automotive technician crisis. So, as I said here, the technician shortage is not a labor problem in our minds. I don't think we suffer from a lack of people, right? It's a perception crisis. The grease myth versus the silicon reality, right? When you talk to kids today, people, even in my mind, my background's in the enterprise analytics. And before I started working in the automotive industry, my perception of what a technician did was was low skilled and just labor work. I didn't fully appreciate the complex nature of what it takes to repair my vehicle. And what now I do, of course. So as we see, the modern vehicles are like mobile supercomputers. It, it's like the automotive technician. This is a STEM project, right? In our minds, this is a STEM profession. We see that car at the average car today runs on about 100 million lines of code, and there's a lot of there's a lot of scan tools and things like that technicians have to work with. A deep-seated bias against the trades. That's another problem we see. Is 74% of the people of kids today, look at a trade school as a plan B, right? 79% of parents advocate for a 4-year university path. And, nobody's really thinking about the trade school. That's the plan B. If it doesn't work out, I can become an automotive technician. That's how people kind of perceive the automotive trade these days, I believe. Right? People think it's a dead end path, it's a dead end job, and we here, Smarter Way to Apply, believe that's a myth. We believe the automotive industry, especially independent repair shops, have in other dealerships and things like that, have a high growth reality. Right? There's a pipeline, or there's a career path in like a 5 bay independent automotive shop, right? People could start off as a technician. They can go up, and there's different levels of technicians, and then maybe shop manager, and then business owner. A lot of these smaller shops are family owned businesses, but how you can attract high quality, high technical talent is by outlining a career path for them, even in your small shop. Entrepreneurship is a it's an attractive thing for a lot of kids. A lot of kids dream about being business owners, and the reality is a lot of independent shops, they are ran by business owners, and this is something that you can teach, um, or you can offer to people in your shop. Teach them the ropes. Don't look at it as competition. Look at it as you're giving them the skill set to run your shop when you retire, or maybe buy your shop. So there's this high growth reality. I don't think that is really being put out there, or being like put in the forefront in the general public's mind when it comes to the automotive trade. We see only 30%, there's an invisibility problem. Only 30% of technicians report that their shop have a well-defined career path. If you don't have, no matter if you're a small shop, medium-sized shop, and you don't have a well-defined career path, for your workforce or for your people, then they're not going to be very happy. They're going to view that as dead end. And if they view that as dead end, that's, they take that energy to home and whatever, right? So we have to figure out how to define even a smaller independent shop. There are career paths that you could set out, that you could define for the people that work for you. Even if you only have two technicians, you could define a ladder where they can advance their career, advance their skill set, um, and just see wider opportunity. That's what people ultimately want when they enter the workforce. So the perception gap in numbers, we can see the annual demand, and this is some very good research by people like Wrenchway and ASC organization, things like that. We see that there's a demand, annual demand of technicians, about 76,000 is needed in our economy, and we're only graduating about 39,000 people, qualified kids out of these technical institutes. So that leaves us with a shortfall of about 37,000 qualified candidates to work, in this trade, in this career. And so this is not sustainable over time. Um, we have to figure out a way to address this. And like I said, from our perspective over here, Smarter Way to Apply, we believe fundamentally it's a perception gap. So here, the gap creates real world risk. 70% of independent shops lack, a ADS trained ADS excuse me, ADAS trained technician, and that that causes shops to turn away business. And when you turn away business, you turn away business, right? Nobody wants to turn away business. But imagine if we viewed the software engineering world as just typing fast. Is that a position? That's the position. Imagine that. Imagine, like I said, I have a background in data and analytics. It sounds sexy, but imagine if it didn't have that sexy sound, right? How many people would really be interested in a career in data analytics if they thought it was a dead end job? They couldn't grow their career. They couldn't make a livable wage, right? Nobody would be interested in that's the position that the automotive industry is in today, right? People look at a lot, I mean, the greater public perceives this industry or being an automotive technician as a plan B, or not something that you can build build a life with, and that's just not true. We're not just fixing cars, we are maintaining the future mobility. That's the reality of the automotive technician. I mean, when you think about during COVID times, the automotive technician was a critical, considered an essential worker. Why? Because people, transportation, things need to move, right? And things move through these vehicles. And if we don't have the people that understand how to maintain these vehicles safely, then the whole economy it just doesn't work the way it works today. And that's pretty much it. I just wanted to go through that and talk about how we here at Smarter Way to Apply are really thinking about, um, we want to be partners with our clients, with our, with the independent shop, with the dealerships. We want to be you guys as partners. You guys need to worry about fixing and building your business. We want to make sure that you have the talent to do so. And we want to make sure that talent, it stays with you and grows with you and your company. And in order to do that, we have to fix this perception problem first, to encourage more people into the industry, more kids, because this is, in my opinion, a STEM. Automotive trade is a STEM class, right? The technical nature of these machines that these guys work on is unbelievable, and the knowledge and the skill it takes to keep up with how these things change and how is the automotive technician. It's just unbelievable. So we want to be we want to help you guys retain. We want to help shops and retain talent and grow your talent. And so we think deeply about these issues and try to talk to them or bring them up and in discussion and see what you think. So I'm gonna stop being long-winded. If you have any comments on this presentation, please leave them below. Thank you very much. Till next time, this is Charles with Smarter Way to Apply.